another episode of the Do WIT podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Hernholm, the founder of WIT Whatever It Takes. And I can't believe we're just a couple weeks away from releasing season 3 to all of you. In the meantime, I've been coming on here and hosting solo episodes, bringing you up to speed on how we're doing over here at the podcast and what we have in store for you. Today, we're trying out this camera, so that's why my eyes are kind of going different places as we figure out the best way to position it. We've got some new lights up in here, and this will be our San Diego spot, but we're going to take you on the road this year. So we're going to be in different locations, and I'm just going to take you with us as we go do WIT around the country. So this episode, I wanted to talk to you about what you can expect to stay the same at the Do WIT podcast and what you can expect to be different. Let's start with things that are staying the same. We are going to continue to be the place and space for you to get the tips, the tools, the resources that you need to do whatever it takes in your life and in your business, and as someone who has chosen to live with an entrepreneurial mindset. We also will continue to be a place for tweens and teens to use their voice and to be featured. We are going to have teen and tween entrepreneurs on the podcast. And that leads me into something that's going to be different. So in the previous seasons, it has been that we've done like an adult episode and then separately a teen or tween episode. This year, we're mixing it up. This season, we're mixing it up because I just really, really want to help young people use their voice and connect with entrepreneurs and leaders and CEOs, et cetera. And so at the end of every episode where we have an adult guest, a graduate from the WIT program or a current student at the WIT program will come on and ask that guest a few questions for about 15 to 20 minutes. I just recorded one of those episodes before I jumped on here to share this with you. And it's my guest host is a teenage, well, no, now she's 20 years old. She was a teenager when she was in WIT, and she's the founder of a really great podcast. So you'll learn about that. And she came on to ask the questions and then stayed on afterwards to help me close out the episode. That was not planned, but that was actually really cool because we talked about what her takeaways were. And that's what we want to make sure happens on every episode of the Do WIT podcast. We are committed to making sure, as much as we can control this, that you get at least 3 tangible takeaways from every episode, and that you feel compelled and inspired to take action on the things that you have learned. And that's why we do WIT. That's why we say do WIT. We don't just want you to sit in it. We want you to take action. We want you to feel inspired and empowered. And so the episodes are really tailored to giving you a chance to learn from somebody in a field that might be new to you, or might be one that you're even considering for a career track. And then you also are learning how they've navigated life. So not just business and entrepreneurship, but life, because it's more than just being successful in business. It's about being successful in your personal life and in your emotional life. And a lot of the topics that we're going to be tackling here at Do WIT this year are topics that unfortunately are not really taught in school, and yet they're essential to being successful in life. And topics like financial literacy, building relationships, bouncing back after rejection or loss, and also making big decisions like, where do you want to go to school, or is it the right time to change careers? We want to bring on people that can provide information that you can say, I agree with this, I don't agree with that, I love this, I don't like that. It's fine. That's exactly how you want it to be. Because when I was a teacher, and I really, really miss teaching, but when I was a teacher, I loved the topics that we discussed in my classroom, and the healthy discourse that would happen in the room. And I want to have that here with all of you. And I want to challenge ourselves. Like, maybe someone's going to come on and you don't agree with what they said, but ask yourself, why don't I agree with that? Or maybe I should take that perspective into consideration. You're not going to only hear from people that you're going to agree with. That's not what's happening here. We're going to bring in people that I hope challenge you, inspire you, like I said, and encourage you to take action in your life. Do WIT will always be a place where we are committed to having young people in the spaces and places that are usually reserved for adults. So that's why they are coming on the podcast with those adult guests and going to be able to be their own guest on their episodes as well. So if you are a teen or tween entrepreneur and you want to be on our show, make sure you reach out to us. You know how to find us. And if you're a graduate of our program and maybe you've lost touch with us, but you want to come back and be a co-host with me on those episodes where we're bringing in that young voice at the end, make sure you reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you again and get you involved. So I think that's it for now. It's a brief solo episode as we continue to get things ready for you, go back to recording the episodes for you. And until next time, keep doing whatever it takes for yourself, for others. And if you have ideas of who should be on the podcast, make sure you tell them to me. I'd love to hear your guest ideas. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channels, and if you're not following us on the different places where you can listen to your podcast, please do that today. That would be great.